Guilt is a feeling that most people dread having to feel at any point in their life, whether it's over something small or big, or if it's a mistake or not. It's just not an enjoyable feeling for anyone to go through. Watching someone mentally and physically go through the feeling of guilt is absolutely terrifying. Bokutachi ga Yarimashita is a psychological manga that does exactly that, written by the author of none other than Blue Lock, and another pretty popular new-gen manga in Jagan. On top of the author having two other good manga out, this series was even recommended by Hajime Isayama, the creator of Attack on Titan, and after reading it, I can really see why, because Bokutachi ga Yarimashita is truly terrifying. Our story goes as follows. Although satisfied with his average lifestyle, Tobio Masubuchi wishes for a long and fun existence, hoping that nothing will get in his way. Alongside his good friends Sho Isami, Yuki Maruyama, and Hiro Paisen Kosaka, the group passes each day worry-free, doing as they please. But when a group of delinquents from a neighboring school overhears Maru saying they should die, their troubles begin. After being kidnapped and brutally assaulted, Maru is found by his friends, who are shocked to see what has been done to him. Angry, Tobio proposes that they take immediate revenge, and after deciding how they should do so, the four put their plan into action. But when what should have been just a prank turns deadly, Tobio's aspirations for an undisturbed life are shattered forever. I personally think the story for this manga is done really well, and the theme of guilt, which is the main topic in this manga, is absolutely genius. Our main characters do make that major mistake that ends their peaceful fun, but at the end of the day, it was still a mistake, and over a mistake, someone can find peace in the guilt that they feel. But seemingly each and every single one of our characters goes about it wrongly, with each of them having unique or weird or even grotesque ways of dealing with this haunting emotion, giving into it each and every single time. Later on in our story, our characters choose to confess to their crime, but for unforeseen circumstances, there are already suspects taken in, so they didn't get the relief they expected from telling everyone it was them. Due to this, the guilt they feel becomes overwhelming as they have to live through it for the rest of their lives, as it constantly haunts them. It makes this one of those manga where you really just have to take a second to step back and think to yourself, thank God that's not me. This really is a very interesting manga, as you don't usually see this kind of concept of guilt in manga, let alone a psychological story that really explores how it can tear someone down and slowly eat away at them for their entire lives. Now, the artwork for this manga is done really well, really adding to the haunting factor like nothing else. The facial expressions of the characters is done in the same exact way. Everything about how they look is done in such a way that makes you extremely on edge the entire time throughout the manga. I honestly give a lot of praise to the author for coming up with and writing such an interesting and well done manga, but the artist deserves the same amount of praise, with his art perfectly portraying the terrifying feeling that is guilt. I think out of every single psychological manga I've ever read, this one stands alone as having one of the most unique themes of guilt. In my opinion, it really just isn't something you see done very often, really making it unique, let alone the fact that it's done really well. I can't praise the author enough for the ideas he put into this manga, really making it one that I'll always remember. I also think the event that took place by accident was a genius idea, because some may argue that because it took place by accident, the characters could simply chalk it up to a mistake and that they are not a bad person. But if it wasn't an accident and our characters had a want to do this, it would make them truly evil, and most likely they wouldn't feel the same amount of guilt from something like this event. Now, the ending of this manga, I won't spoil it exactly, but it really shows in a great way how the feeling of guilt and regret has stuck with and ruined our main character's entire life. It even gets to the point where when he has his firstborn child, all he can think of in that moment is the people who he harmed and the incident that took place, truly showing how scary our emotions and feelings can be, and how our entire life can be changed in just seconds if we're not thinking properly. Now, I quickly just want to take a look into the characters of this manga, as I think other than our main character, it might be the least strong point of this story. Our characters are done well in terms of how each of them deals with this feeling of guilt, and with each character being really uncomfortable to read at times, it really gives them a sense of not necessarily realism, but it perfectly fits the vibe of the story, creating a sense of almost trust no one, not even your friends who are in this with you, because they will all change a ton from the guilt. Now, I've already touched on the uniqueness of this story, and I really liked it, and I thought it was a one-of-a-kind idea and executed honestly really well throughout the entire story. If you're a person who really enjoys reading weird or unique manga, or just psychological manga, and you haven't checked this manga out yet, I recommend you do so. With that being said, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below if you end up checking this manga out, or just your personal opinions on it, as I'd love to hear them. Make sure to hit that notification bell to never miss another upload, as well as check out some of my other socials linked down in the description below. Be sure to check out one of the videos popping up on screen right about now. But with that said, as always, thanks for watching. Peace.